Hey guys, Saturn Looms here. Long time no see for a tutorial, I guess, because last video I did was an unboxing. But as I said, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on one of my most requested designs. I've not posted anywhere, but it is a design that I have that people wanted me to make smaller. So that is what I did. So this is my baby turtle design, and for size comparison, here's a regular turtle, and then here's the babies. Zoom in. They are so cute, and they're so much less work than the big one, and I think that the design turned out absolutely perfect, and they're like one of my best sellers. So now I have something smaller that if people don't want the big one, they can just get the small one and it's just as cute. So let's get into the materials you'll be needing to make this baby turtle. Put the big one aside. So first you'll be needing any type of hook. I do recommend using a rainbow loom hook. That's what I'm using, but there are other types of hooks that you can use, but I've never tried with anything else, so I stick to my rainbow loom hook. You'll be needing, let's see, I just like threw all my stuff in this bin. A C-clip or stitch marker. I'm using a C-clip. I used 6mm safety eyes for this design. So that's what I'll be using in this tutorial with no backings. Normally I don't put backings on things that only use 6mm eyes. But you can use the bigger size eye if you want. You can use anything you want. You can use beads, which if you had a bead, you just slide it onto a band on your hook and tie that on. It's not, I get this question all the time. I don't do tutorials where I include the bead in the design itself. I just don't do that. And if you want to use a band, you could wrap a black band on your hook 4 or 5 times and slide it onto a body color band and slip that on. I don't know why I'm going over this in the intro, but I mean, I had the eyes. So anyway, for the body color, oh, of course I don't have a band cut yet. It's in the description. I always first do it before, and then when I'm just writing the description, I count up my pattern. So I'm using a semi-opaque lime green, I think. I'm not sure, but this is jelly green. I think it's lime green. Yeah, lime green sounds right. And this is just the semi-opaque because I did not feel like looking for more of that when I was getting bands, and I just had a bunch of these on hand. And for the design, I'm going to be doing a swirl. So this is a fat swirl, this is a skinny swirl. I'm going to be doing a fat swirl, but with 3 colors, because I always get questions on how I do the swirls. So I'm going to be using this Persian Sunkiss Jelly Yellow and Jelly Teal, because I think these colors look cool together. And you also need something to start the creation with. I have my polyfill, but you can use cotton balls, tissues, whatever you have laying around. So let's get started on making this adorable baby turtle. Alright, so first I'm going to be starting out with my body color, which I again am using the semi-opaque lime green, I believe. I think it's lime green, but it's like a semi-opaque. So first I'm going to show you how to do the legs, and you will need 4. So I will show you how to do 1 on camera, and then pause the video and make yourself 3 more, because your turtle needs 4 legs. Okay, so to start, we're going to be doing a magic ring of 5, and if you don't know how to do a magic ring, I'll show you. So we're going to take 1 band on our hook, and is this a semi-opaque band? Hold up. Yeah, sometimes my jelly green and my semi-opaque get like mixed together. Okay, so we're going to take a band on our hook, wrap it around 2 times, creating 3 loops. So 1, 2, and it should look like this. And then you're going to take another band on your hook like this with your finger and slide these 3 loops onto the band on your hook like this, reclaim, and you have your 3 loops and then 1 singular band, and then we're going to push this back loop over the front loop like this, and then I like to take my hook out and flip it so that this shape is in towards the inside, and then you're going to go into the 3 cap bands, just the 3 cap bands. Should look like this, and then take another band and pull through only these 3 loops, not this back loop. You can hold it back with your finger if that makes it easier. That's what I do. And then reclaim. Then you're gonna have 3 loops on your hook, and then slide these back 2 loops over the front one, like that. And we're going to repeat that 3 more times because we just did it twice, and we're trying to do a magic ring of 5. So we're gonna go back into those 3 loops that we were just in, the cap band. Pull another band through the 3 loops, hold this one back, reclaim, and push the 2 back loops over the front one. And that is what we're going to do for the next 2. Slide back 2 over, back into the cap band, excuse me, and reclaim. And to count, you always start with the one on your hook. So this is 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5. That was a good voice crack. Sorry. And you honestly don't really need a stitch marker for this because it's literally just 1 row around of the 5. So usually what I'll do is I'll just take 5 bands and put them in a pile and then just go until I don't have any more. So now we're going to do 1 single row around. So instead of going into this cap band, we're going to go into this first loop here, not this one. It's like the beginning part of your stitch. And we're going to pull a band through the 2 loops and then put the back 2 over the front one. You can use a stitch marker if you want, but I find it easier and it just gets in the way when you have it. And we're just going to do, oh, I skipped a stitch. Go into each loop around and do 1 stitch. Through these 2 loops, and then next one. And once you've done that, I go into my next stitch, take a band, pull through everything on my hook, and slip knot loosely so it just doesn't fall apart. But we're going to be undoing this later to tie it onto our turtle. So that is 1 leg. Rewind if you need to watch it again, but I'm going to go off camera and make my other 3 legs and come back to me when you're done. All right, so I've got my 4 legs. Hope you do too. So we're just going to set those aside for now. And now we are going to make the head. I usually like to, actually, when I'm thinking about it, I made the shell of all these first and then made the body. And then made all the parts to attach. But normally I make all the parts and then make the main thing and then like attach them all. So we're gonna do the head now. So you're still using your body color. And we're going to start with a magic ring of 6. So we did 5 for the legs, so now we're just going to do an extra 1 for the head. And you will need your stitch marker for this. Let me grab it. So same thing as earlier. I already showed you, so I won't go as in detail. I have not filmed a tutorial in forever. I think the last one I did was my manatee, which was a long time ago. I feel like that was like last year. No, I had to have done one before that. I actually don't remember. It's been so long. So I hope you guys will enjoy this tutorial. And once we have 6, so starting with one of my hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to put our stitch marker on the one on our hook. And now we're going to do an increase around. So I'll show you how to do an increase if you don't already how to do one. And we're going to have 12 stitches after this round. So we're going to do what we would do if we normally doing a single stitch. And then instead of going into the next stitch, we're going to go back into that same stitch and put another band in it. Loop stitch, I kind of interchange the words. And then we're going to go into the next loop. Usually I say loop, and then the stitch is what you're doing in it, and then this is the loop. Go into the next loop, do a stitch, and then go back into the same loop and do another stitch. And that's an increase, putting 2 bands in 1 stitch. And we're going to do that all the way around, and then we're going to have 12 stitches when we're done. I still haven't posted on Instagram in a while, because I'll obviously like post like the thumbnail of this and then like that I posted like a new video, so that's exciting. It's really just because I've been so busy. Like, sophomore year is no freaking joke. Hope you couldn't just hear that really loud motor. You definitely could probably hear that. I'm so sorry. I can't help the motorcycles. They're so loud. There'll be like gangs of them that just go down the road at the same time. It's so annoying. And once you've reached the last stitch, you're going to put your C-clip on the band on your hook. And now we're just going to do 3 rows of single crochet around. Single crochet is just what I call a row where you're just putting singles in the entire, all the loops. And I'm just going to do them on camera so I can talk because they're fast. And yeah. So what was I talking about? Oh, sophomore year. Yeah, it's freaking no joke. There's so much work, and I always have homework. I never have free time. The weekends are like the only time where I get to relax, and sometimes I even have homework to do like on Sunday nights. So I just honestly haven't had time or honestly the motivation to film because I've just been so tired. So, but I only have 4 weeks left, but they're all 4-day weeks because we have like days off for Memorial Day. We have the Friday off before Memorial Day, then Memorial Day is the Monday. The week after that, we have a day off because of like a certain final exam, and so we don't have to go in unless we're taking it. And then the week after that is the last week of school, and then we end school on Thursday, so we don't have Friday. But then after that I have my week of Regents, and if you don't know what that is, if you live in New York, you have to take like a state mandated test. It's like a whole freaking exam. It's not just like a final, like it's intense. It's big and long. So like for classes, some classes I have a final and a Regent, so it's like 2 big tests, and it sucks. And it's like only in New York, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, Regents sucks. And I have 3. And one of them is for a class that I am definitely not doing well in. Because we've had 3 different teachers throughout the course of the year. And the teacher we have right now doesn't really teach anything. So, wish me luck on that. It's chemistry, if you were wondering. Not fun. I just don't enjoy chemistry, like the subject of it, period. I like math, but not chemistry. Some sciences I don't mind, but chemistry is just, ugh. And then what else do I have? I have a math Regents and then a global. So I'm not too worried about those. But then it's summer, so I'm so happy. I need to find a craft fair to do soon too. I have not done one since the beginning of February, which is a long time. Usually I do one in April, but I didn't do the one I had this year because my sister had a dance competition, dance something, like over the entire weekend, and my mom had to go to that and could not be with me at a craft fair because I can't sit alone. It's too much for one person to do. almost done with these 3 rows. But yeah, this design comes together super quick. Like I literally made the blue and gold one last night because I was like pattern testing, because I made the purple and pink one a long time ago, like over a month ago, maybe even 2 months, and I forgot to write. Well, I started writing the pattern, but then I stopped, so I didn't remember. So I tried to like just look at it and like figure out what I did, and then I did what I thought I did on the gold and blue one, and it turned out fine. So I wrote down that pattern, and now I can make a tutorial. So you should still have 12 stitches at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Excuse me, 12. So sorry. And now we are going to do single decrease all the way around, and you're going to have 8 stitches at the end. And if you don't know how to do a decrease, I will show you. So we're just going to start out with a single. And then a decrease is basically combining 2 stitches. So we're going to take the front part of the first loop and the back part of the next loop, like this, and then make a stitch on these 2 bands, just like a regular stitch. But it's just combining 2 stitches to make it smaller. And then we're going to do another single, and then another decrease. So front part of the first loop, back part of the next loop, and make a stitch on it. What's on that band? Use a different band. I don't have like something from production. And then another single, get a whole loop, and a decrease. And you should be ending with decrease. So much freaking cat hair. There's always cat hair in my creations. It's either that or polyfill sticking out. So you don't need the C-clip anymore. So after your last decrease, you go into the next stitch and just pull a band through everything and loose slip knot, because we will be undoing that later. Just trying to get all the freaking cat hair. What the heck? That's fun. So I'm going to stuff this right now just because it's right here. So I'm going to take my polyfill. Yeah, you can get, they used to be way cheaper, but I just get the big bags of polyfill from Walmart, usually online. And works well. Never tried to use anything else, so. Okay, so once it is to the amount that you desire it to be stuffed, I think we'll do a tiny bit more. You can just set it aside, and we will do the shell next. Okay, so here's your head. And so now I'm going to set this aside with my legs, and now we can get started on the shell. All right, so for the shell, like I said, I'm using 3 colors in my swirl, but you can use 2. You can do solid color, you can use mix pack, you can do anything you want for the shell. That's what I love about these turtles, is you can really just do whatever looks cool, whatever you think will look cool, and it always does. So I never used these bands before. I think I'm winning them in a giveaway, I think, from another loomer. So that's cool. So to start the shell, and if you forgot, this is the one I'm doing, except instead of 2 colors, I'm using 3, so it'll be yellow, orange, teal, yellow, orange, teal, or whatever. So this is the 2-tone, and then this is like a skinny swirl. And you like put, when you're doing like a swirl, but instead of putting the same colors in the loops like that you would, like over and over, I put like the opposite color and it makes it look like this. I don't know if that made any sense, but basically do whatever you want. It looks cool no matter what. So first you're going to want to get your C-clip and your hook, and we're going to start out with a magic ring of 6 again, just like our head. I'm going to start with my orange color here. So if you're doing a swirl, you can follow along with what I'm doing. I'm, like I said, doing 3-toned. So if you're doing 2-toned, then you'll be doing like the same technique, just with 2 colors instead of 3. Let's do orange. So we're alternating the colors, and then once I did my 3, I just repeat. So then another orange, another yellow, and a teal. I think this is the one I'm going to keep for my collection because I already love the color combo. The other 2 I'll put in my bin for craft sales, and I'll put on my website. Oh, time to plug my website, saturnlooms.com. Check it out. I sell a bunch of creations. It's currently pretty full because I have a lot of product right now. So go check it out. Support small businesses. And put a cute little friend on your desk, because I have a bunch of friends on my desk and I have a bunch on my shelves and they're so cute to look at. So support small businesses. Link in bio. saturnlooms.com. So for the swirl, when you're doing the increase, you are going to just be putting the same color as the stitch that you're putting, or in the loop, the same color band in each loop that the color already is, if that makes sense. So in the yellow stitches, I'm going to put yellow bands, orange bands, teal bands. So we're just going to do an increase around, and I'm putting my swirl colors where they belong. Like we're starting out the same as the head, but then we're going to increase it even more to make it a little bigger. I try my best to not cover up what I'm doing with my fingers. Okay, and that's 1 row. Or your 1 row of single crochets, or increases, sorry. And you should have 12 stitches. I'm not going to count because I know I have 12. Let me push my chair in. Ah! All good. Okay, so now we're going to do a single and an increase, and we're going to end up with 18 stitches. So we're going to do single in the first stitch of color, of your color, and then the second one we're just doing an increase. So basically you can think of the first stitch in this color, we're going to do a single, and then the second we're going to do an increase. And then switch to our yellow, or my yellow. You might be using yellow. I love yellow. It's my favorite color. It's a very I mean, I like all yellows, but there's a very specific shade of yellow that I like. It's like a goldeny yellow. And we're just doing the single crochet increase all the way around. And like I said, we will be ending up with 18 stitches in the end. And this is also pretty, like, full circle for me because the turtle was my first design. And it is definitely the most popular one. I've seen so many people make it, so thank you for that. So I hope I get to see lots of baby turtles too. And once you have done your last increase, we're going to move our stitch marker up. And if you're doing a swirl, it should look something like this. But like I said, if you're doing 2-tone, it'd just be like purple, pink, purple, pink, purple, pink, whatever. So now we're going to do 4 rows of single crochet around, just singles, just like we did with the head. But instead we're going to do 4 rows, and it's 18. and I'm not going to do these on camera because I want to save a little bit of filming time. The other one was quick. But, excuse me, if you're doing a swirl, just continue putting, like, the colors in the stitches that, so, like, I'll be doing orange in these ones, yellow in these, teal in these, like, you know. And then it, like, starts, like, because the stitches, like, shift kind of when you're going along, so then it creates the swirl. And if you're not doing a swirl, then ignore all that. Do whatever you're doing. So just do 4 rows around of single crochet and come back to me when you're done. All right, so I have got my shell. I did my 4 rows. Hope you did too. Okay, I was just making sure I did 4. It's pretty sure I did, but there we go. The swirl is looking really cute. I love it. The colors look better in person than on camera. But anyway, so now we're going to want to get our body color back out. So, grabbed an eye with it. And we are going to be doing a half row. And if you've made my other turtle, you know what this is. But if you have not, then I will show you. So it's like doing a decrease, but not really. You are grabbing the front half of the loop and just making a stitch on that. And since we are also changing colors here, like to a completely new color, like these ones I don't do the color changes because I just think it looks cool, like it's like fading into the other color. But for this, we're going to do a color change, so we're going to pull our band through everything on our hook and loose stitch. Do not pull on that. And then go into the next stitch, only the front half, and make a stitch. Only the front half, not the full stitch. So you're only making, it's only going to be on the one band. We're going to do this all the way around. And after the color change, you can just go back to doing normal stitches, by the way. If you're a beginner. It's a pretty good design for the beginner. For a beginner, I'd say the hardest part is attaching. Hopefully the sun comes out so I can get a cute thumbnail. And just like pictures of these, because I have not taken any pictures of these turtles and they're so cute. I think it's kind of cloudy right now. So, I mean, it will still look fine. If it's cloudy, it just looks better when it's sunny. And you should still have 18 stitches when you're done with this row, because there is no decreasing. You're just kind of doing the decrease part with just grabbing the front loop. Okay, move your C-clip up. And like I said, you should still have 18 stitches. I'm not going to count because I'm pretty sure I have 18. So now we are going to do just a single row around of green. And I'm just going to do this on camera just because it's fast. Okay. Sorry about that. So, and if, because of the color change, you have this weird, like, small looking stitch right here. That's not a stitch. That's just from the color change. So do not do a stitch on that. So skip that and then go into the next stitch. That is not a stitch. And we're just doing singles all the way around and back to going in the full loop and not just the front loop. No more half rows. Honestly, I think I have a couple like tutorial requests that I've had for a long time. I should probably do that. I think I have a couple from like other loomers that have designs, and I make tutorials for the designs. I think I have a couple like on my list that some of them I don't even have the patterns for yet, but some of them I do, and I should probably make those, make a tutorial, because it's probably been well over a year. I feel so bad. Still freaking cat hair. I don't understand. I mean, I do have 3 cats, so there's a lot of cat hair everywhere. Literally everywhere. Like, literally, if they just, like, walk across me, I have, like, so much cat hair. They're not even long-haired cats. They're just regular cats. Like, domestic short hair. But they still shed so freaking much. Okay. So once you've finished your 1 row round, you still have 18. And now we are going to start closing up this turtle. So we're going to do a single and a decrease all the way around. So I already showed you how to do decrease. So this should be good. Single decrease all the way around. And then you should end up with 12 stitches. Also, I probably haven't said anything about like my YouTube in a while, but thank you so much for 3.5k subscribers, which is actually kind of crazy. Like, I never thought I would get this far, and that many people would like watch my videos and like make this stuff. It like makes me so happy seeing other people making things that are on my channel, because like I put so much time into making tutorials and like writing out descriptions, which just writing descriptions, you may think is fast, but it is honestly not. It takes me like a hot minute to write descriptions, and sometimes YouTube like deletes it, like when I like exit out of it while it's like uploading. You don't want to see me when that happens. I get so mad. I'm like writing a whole description, then it's just gone. So anyway, I did my single decrease, and you should have 12, and you should have ended with a decrease. And now I'm going to stuff my turtle shell before it gets too small of an opening to do so. Good. You don't want to overstuff these, but you just want it enough so that it holds its shape. And now we're just going to do decrease all the way around, and you're gonna have 6 stitches when you're done, but when you're done you just keep decreasing until like you don't have any more stitches. So it's just a bunch of decreasing. Honestly, I should like block out time every single weekend just to film, so I can like get it into my into a routine, because that's how I used to be. I mean, I used to be posting like stuff like multiple times a week. That's when I actually had time to do stuff, but summertime I have more time to do stuff. So yeah. Okay. So once you've done the decreases and get back to your C-clip, I just take my C-clip off and decrease until it's closed. I'll also tell you how many I do after after you have 6 left. So 1, 2, 3, I think I'll probably have 4. Yeah, I'm going to be doing 4. So it gets really hard to see, but just try your best to get that 4th one on. And then once it's all closed, you can, or when you have no more stitches, you can pull a band through everything on your hook and slip knot it nice and tight. And then we're going to tuck this in. Like that. There we go. And there's the shell, and it's not done. So we have to do the edge part here, which is pretty fast. It's just like single rows. But let me get more of my shell color out. Don't need much for this. Okay. So what we're going to do is try and find where you like your C-clip was. Like you can tell here, there's a bigger gap here, and this is where we did the color change. You can just kind of, it like looks pretty uniform, and then, boom, right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this stitch here to both loops. And we're going to take a band and do a stitch on that. And then we're going to go into the next one and just take the stitch from where the half row was and do a stitch on that. And we're going to do this all the way around in the colors that your swirl is or the shell is, whatever. And that's why we did the half row, so that this row is like more visible and easier to grab. Yeah, this one is definitely my favorite one I've done so far. The other one, well, the first one I was just kind of like, I didn't know if it was gonna work out, so I used bands I didn't care much about if I like screwed up. And the one I did last night, I didn't really care about the colors I used either, because it's like whatever, like using bands that I know that I'm not going to use for other things, I guess. Like for my Loom Artist of the Year, I got like 2 big treasure boxes, and I used, for the one I made last night, I used the gold and the blue from one of those, because why not? And once you're almost back at the beginning, I am going to put a C-clip just because when you're back at the beginning, before you go back into your next color, you can put your C-clip. You don't have to, but I am going to. And we're going to do 1 row around in this row of stitches, in this row of loops. And again, this thing here is not a stitch. It's just where we like started our row. It's like a slip stitch. So we're going to go to this next loop, and we're just going to stitch all the way around. Now, this one definitely will be going on my shelf, and the other 2 will go to a craft fair, and I'm sure they will sell because people love turtles. And usually if it's like a little kid, it's like the parents like, oh, you can get a $10 thing, and usually that's like the smaller ones. So then now instead, if they wanted a big turtle and they couldn't get it, they can get a baby turtle. Oop. Wrong color. I wonder what time it is. I don't have a clock in my room. I just have my phone. It on my phone. I'm one of those, I'm weird. I like don't like to know, when I wake up at night, I don't like to know what time it is, because then I'm like, then you're like, oh, I have to wake up in 2 hours. Like, I don't like to know that. I like to just think that I have lots of time left to sleep, so that I'm not like upset that I'm like woke up and like it takes me a while to go back to sleep usually if I know, oh, I only have 2 hours left. Might as well just stay up. Like, yeah. So I don't have any clocks in my room. So, oh, I didn't need to do that. So once you get to the end of your, where your C-clip is, you're going to go into the next stitch and take the color that stitch is. Or it's mostly just for swirl people. But you're just going to take a band, pull up through everything, and slip knot nice and tight. And then we're going to just flip this above to make like the rim. Like that. Cute. So now we are going to attach everything. So make sure you get all your parts together and get some body color bands. Sorry, that was a bit of a weird cut. I just wanted to put all my shell color bands away so they were not in the way. Okay. So first, I like to attach the head to the shell. So I'll put my legs up there. Excuse me. And usually I start like in the area where the slip knot is. So we're just going to go, I'm gonna go here. And you're just going to take one of the green stitches right below the shell, or where the color started, and take that slip knotted band in your head, undo it, but make sure it doesn't like come out, just like keep it like this, and then pull it through like that and loosely slip knot it because we're like still stitching around. And then we're going to go into this next green stitch here and find the next green stitch on the head. And really, this is how I attach it. You can attach it any way you feel like is easiest, but this is how I attach it, by sewing technique. No. Oh, that came out. Again, back into this stitch, into this one, pull it through the head stitch and the body stitch, and treat it like a regular stitch. To the next one, next loop, through 4 bands. I'm sorry if I'm not explaining this very well. You just go into one of the stitches on the right near the shell and then take a stitch from the head and basically like sew them together. And once I do a couple of these like across the top edge, I'll start going a little bit deeper onto the belly portion, I guess, and then do stitches around there. So like we're basically like going in a little circle to like match the stitches on the back of this head. Don't have a particular spot that I go every time either. But you can like slip knot these on if you want. It probably would take less time, but then there's more tails to tuck in, and that's kind of annoying. And then once you get to the end and there's like no more like visible stitches, actually that one I probably could do one on, but I'm not going to. And then I go back up to the top part and then tie it into a stitch that's on the head, at the lower part of the head, and then pull band through everything and tie that off like that. And now our head's attached, and obviously it's like kind of far away, and you can see here it's like more attached. So what I do, actually first I'm going to tuck in this tail here. Okay, and then I like go through some stitches in the shell, come back out, I really don't know how to explain this part. Basically, I like tie it onto the shell a little bit so that it like supports it. So then it's like upwards a little more. And then tuck these two in. Okay. Probably would have liked my thing to be a little closer that way, but it's okay. Now I'm just going to pop the eyes in. This one has like, you know, when if you get like plastic safety eyes, sometimes they have like extra like plastic around the edge, and I just kind of like use my fingernail to like get off. Sometimes it like chips at my nail though. If you get safety eyes, you probably know what I mean. Okay, so now we have the eyes in. Trust, this orange looks like so bad on camera, but it's actually so pretty in person. It like looks so much more muted on camera. It's actually a brighter color. Okay, so now the last part, the legs, which is honestly my least favorite part, because this I do slip knot and there are a lot of tails to tuck in. And it's just repetitive because there's 4. So maybe I'll like attach like 2 on camera and then I'll go off and do the other 2 on my own, because it is the same thing over and over. So first we're just going to, okay, yeah, that eye placement's fine. So we're just gonna find a stitch. I'm gonna attach the front one over here first. So find a stitch and do the same thing like what we did with the head, where you undo the slip knot. Undo the slip knot and like tie it into the body. But instead we're gonna slip knot it and not just do a loose knot. And then go another place in the body in that same area and tie another stitch onto it from the leg. And then one more spot, do right here. So basically I tied on in 3 different places, like that. And we're doing that for all the legs, except just in different placements. So one here, here, and here. And it's a little bit easier to tuck in the tails after each leg. And I'm not doing this on camera, probably way out of frame, but it's just hard to tuck in tails on camera. Okay. So there's one leg. I will do the one over here so that you know how to do like one side, and then I'll do these other 2 off camera because it's kind of annoying to do on camera because it's just repetitive, and tucking in tails on camera is not fun. So same process, taking the slip knot out, tying it onto the body. Nice and tight. Not want these to fall off. Go like here. And you can do more slip knots if you think it makes it more secure, looks better. You can also sew it on. It's a pretty small area to be sewing something on those, which is why I do slip knot it. I never like to attach things by slip knots, so it's just so small that sewing it is just too hard. So now tuck these tails in. It's just annoying to tuck in tails, honestly, because you want to make sure they're not like sticking out. So you have to weave it into a different stitch, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's how you do one side. Sorry, I didn't tuck that in on camera. But you're just slip knotting these legs on into your preferred spots. I know this one's a little bit crooked. It probably could go for more that way. But I'm going to go off camera and attach the two on this side and pause the video and come back to me when you're done sewing on the other two legs. Alright, so I finished sewing on my legs, and that should be you should have completed your turtle. So it should look something like this. Obviously, probably different shell color. So I hope your turtles turned out good. And if you make one, don't forget to tag me on Instagram at Saturn.looms and use the hashtag SaturnLooms when posting. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It was really good to be back. I really do enjoy making tutorials for you all. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!